Well, we have a gassy duo for you today and tomorrow. Let's just dive in and see what the first one is. This one is called the GASMORP V3V1. So basically, this is another one that's based off of a tactic that's based off of a tactic that's based off of a tactic. So this V1 is based off of the GASMORP V3, which is based off the GASMORP V2. So I think it's just a couple of different people playing around with the same idea, but this one is using three strikers. They moved the Shadow Striker to a complete forward, so we'll see how that does and how that works out for our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. With all that said, let's see how this one can do in the Premier League. Well, looking at Liverpool, it did fairly well. 90 points, 12 points above second place Tottenham, so they had the league in hand for a little while. 115 goals is phenomenal. Aston Villa, 74 points, 72 goals is more on the average side, though. So let us start out with Liverpool, as they did so well in the league, and they did amazingly well in the domestic cups. You got all the way through to the Carabao Cup final, playing Aston Villa using the same tactic, but a 2-1 win. You get trophy number 2, and then trophy number 3, a 2-1 win over Chelsea in the FA Cup. Well, we might as well make it an absolute clean sweep. The Europa League final, and absolutely a phenomenal run all the way through, beating Copenhagen 1-0. So sure, we have seen points and goals that are higher than what they got this time around, but 4 trophies, you can't really beat that. Squad-wise though, they're still missing some green, interestingly enough. But Alisson, of course, with a high appearance count. 36 goals for Salah, 23 for Jota. Nunez and Pedro comes in, but Nunez only with 16. Assists, 24 for Robertson, 23 for Szoboszlai. Very well done. And then Szoboszlai gets the tops with a 7.34, which is actually Salah only getting 7.29, a little low from what I would expect. Now, Aston Villa having a phenomenal run as well through to the Carabao Cup final, as we saw, losing out to Liverpool 2-1. But the FA Cup quarters is where they get to, playing Arsenal, losing in penalties. But another phenomenal run, and I think the draw was in the exact same location with Liverpool, but a 4-0 thrashing over, is it Vitesse? But Europa Conference League final, well done. So overall, I mean, another pretty good season. You got the winners of the Conference League. Quarterfinals is not too bad of the FA Cup. Runners of the Carabao Cup. 4th place, you get Champions League next season. So I would still say this is kind of a win. But squad-wise, yeah, look at that green. It's really non-existent. 23 for Moussa Diaby goals-wise, 20 for Ollie Watkins, assists 15 for Douglas Luiz, 14 for Moreno, and average rating Moreno gets a 7.32. Data hub for Liverpool, attacking wise, through and through, looking fantastic, covering all the bases at least. Passing percentage not there though, but you got the defensive pieces, and it's about average. Goals per game 3.03 whopping. Well done there. 0.95 conceded, 0.95 xG against. A little bit down in the defensive pieces, but overall still pretty good. Aston Villa doing somewhat well, just missing out on the goals. Defensively, about the same as usual. 1.89 goals per game, 1.11 conceded, 1.25 xG against. Premier League stats, 2.37 points per game for Liverpool. Definitely not the highest we've seen, but pretty well nice. Nope. But still pretty nice. Aston Villa with 1.95. Most goals, Liverpool with 115, Aston Villa with 72. Drawing with Manchester United, though. Fewest shots against, Liverpool with 287, Aston Villa with 365. Most possession, Liverpool get 51%. Most dribbles made, Liverpool with 631, Aston Villa only down by 3 with 628. And then most shots for Liverpool in first with 732, 611 for Aston Villa. But now, of course, with all that, Ipswich Town's going to do fairly well as well. As you can see, first place, 112 points, 126 goals. Pretty well done. Domestically, about average. Oxford United dropping them out in the Carabao Cup second round in penalties. And then FA Cup against Everton, 5-6 in extra time. That's interesting. So overall, a normal season is what we'd like to see these times around, especially since the winter update. But Ipswich coming clearly in first. Well done there. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, not too upset about that. Squad-wise, they have some green, though. Don't count them out. But goals, 32 for George Hurst. Very well done when he actually shows up. 16 for Connor Chaplin. Assists, 10 for Wes Burns is the tops. You got Leif Davis is no longer here. I actually don't have transfers turned on, so I don't know what happened to him. But George Hurst gets a 7.56. Championship stats, 2.43 points per game for Ipswich. Most goals in first with 126. Fewest shots against with 343. Most dribbles made in fifth with 788. And most shots for in first with 842. But now, tactically, let's take a look. Sweeper, keeper, and defend is where we start. Fullback in attack on the left with an inverted wingback and support on the right. ball playing defenders in the central spots, DM in support next to a Segundo Volante in attack next to a winger in support on the right, a complete forward in attack next to a pressing forward in support with an advanced forward in attack on the right. Balanced mentality, in possession attacking with his narrow, approach plays pass into space, underlap on the left but focus play down the left and the right, passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, step up more, and invite crosses. So overall, how did it do for our three teams? Yeah, pretty well. I mean, Ipswich Town is kind of the new norm for the most part since sort of right after the winter update. They're not the highest point tally, they're not the highest goal tally, but they're still up there in first doing very well. Now, it does look like that this tactic is using a lot of the same things that those 4-2-4s that I've been talking about forever have been doing. A lot of the, FM24 game-winning tactic type of things where you got a lot of the same instructions that are really going to push these teams forward. And it's kind of what is the deal with the FM24 this time around. If you use the same instructions, you can vary up the shape a little bit and you're still going to get a rockin' tactic there. But Liverpool clearly doing a fantastic job, 90 points. Very well done. Aston Villa in fourth. Even if it's average, it's still pretty good. But overall, this one worked. I got to say that. But that's it for me, 7FM for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.